Hello?
Hello.
Hello?
What up, boys and
Hello?
girls?
Hello? Hello?
Hi, everybody.
Hello? 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 Where'd the music go? There it is.
We're here for
Good morning,
Most-
afternoon, night, everyone.
after norming. is
Oh,
my
that's pretty
word
good.
for it most of the
After
time.
norming.
Can always rely on the English major.
After norming. I don't know.
It's got like the afternoon. It's got the phonetic patterns from morning.
Norming's just a weird sound.
It sounds like normie.
Yeah.
I played a single game of League of Legends the other day, and everyone
sorry.
was nice, and we were cooperative, and it was a hard-fought game, but we won.
We did it, Reddit.
I was like, this
Gamers
can't be
rise
happening
up.
right now. It's like no one called me a slur or anything. It was amazing.
So, right before we went live, I was talking to Hunter about like 80s and 90s and early 2000s. Actually, I think it dates back to the 50s. Toy aisles. How there's like the blue one that has Hot Wheels and Erector sets, and the NES and He-Man, and then the pink aisle that has like Barbie and Easy Bake Oven and like I don't know.
What aisle does the
did girls
Shrinky
get
Dinks go in?
toys?
I don't know.
Were girls allowed to play with toys?
Dolls are good enough, right?
Yeah.
Dolls?
Yeah.
And,
You get a doll house.
Yes. Girls were allowed to role play as future housewives.
Yes.
Yay!
Hooray. But when I wanted an Easy Bake Oven, I wasn't
Dude, the
allowed
Easy
to
Bake
have
Oven
one.
was goated.
I wasn't allowed to have one.
My sister had one. I was blind and I accidentally burned my hand on it.
Oh
Yeah.
no!
So I had no idea it was in use at one point, and then I was like, what's over here? Ah!
The Easy Bake Oven has been recalled 3 or 4 times
Yeah.
because they just can't make it safe enough.
No.
'Cause it's an
It's
oven.
an oven. It's like you're giving kids just like a tiny griddle to make cakes in.
Yeah.
Like I'm fine with this personally.
I think that the modern one is like it has a slot on both sides and a conveyor belt, and you like put your unmade cake in the first slot, and it moves it to the middle and then cooks it. And
Have
then
you ever been
moves it back
to?
out.
Have you ever been to like a generic hotel, and you've had their like continental breakfast?
Oh,
and
yeah.
You've got one of those conveyor belt toasters.
Yeah.
So
I've been to Wawa.
So one time I was on this band trip, and
So one time at band camp.
it was one time at band camp. We were at this hotel and we were having
Freaking
breakfast.
band geeks.
And to this day, I can't cut a bagel evenly. Like, it's just impossible for me. I don't know how. And I made one side too fat. So it stuck to the top of the toaster and caught fire.
Yeah.
And I looked around, panicked, and someone who worked there, like, rolled their eyes and huffed and, like, came over and fixed it. Like, it was the 20 millionth time it's happened that morning.
Hunter, I just want to let you know, I can't feel my right hand. I am blind. Cutting a bagel evenly is one of the few things I think I might still be able to do.
Wow.
Really? I
Yes.
can't. I'm incapable. I don't know what's wrong with
I
me.
mean, maybe we get you a bagel guillotine.
I
you ever
see.
seen a bagel guillotine?
I love kitchen gadgets, but I look at some. Yeah, it's a bagel plus guillotine.
Yeah.
What's not to love?
I'm kind of surprised we don't have one of those. If that's something you can't do, those things are like great.
I think single-use kitchen gadgets are bad. Like if they can only do one thing, it kind of sucks. So like the slap chop, the bagel guillotine, the what's another good one? There's like a grilled cheese maker, but it's like just tiny for a single sandwich where you could just buy a fucking panini press.
Yeah.
A panini press is just a grilled cheese maker.
Yeah, how would that be different from...
Like that's
A panini press can do a few things. You can mimic grilling on a panini press.
Oh yeah.
It's not quite the same. But you can get grill marks sometimes
Yeah.
if you're lucky.
Which is not actually, it doesn't make the food any better.
No,
People
it's
are
just more
usually
bumpy.
looking
No,
at it.
no, but the visual appeal of food leads a lot to how people feel about its taste. Funny enough.
Not to me.
No, not to you guys.
No way.
But like, I forget what it was. I think it was it's the old Skittles thing. You close your eyes and you hand someone a random Skittle, and it's really hard for them to tell you.
Oh yeah,
flavor it
I
is.
never have any idea what Skittle I'm eating. There was one, Hunter, I don't know if you were there, but one
Because
time.
all Skittles taste the same. They're just scented and colored differently.
Yeah, one time I was hanging out in the basement of my dad's house with our high school friends, and I forget if you were there or not. But they decided that it would be fun to, we'd just been to Wawa, and everyone handed me their bottle of soda, and was like, "What kind of soda did I get?" And I just couldn't do it. I was like,
It's hard.
I was like, this one's Sprite, and they were like, "Dude, this is sun-kissed orange soda." Like it was crazy. I had if I don't know what the soda is before I start drinking it, I can't tell them apart.
It's really, really hard. Even like seasoned veteran chefs have a really hard time determining what ingredients are blindfolded. What were you gonna say?
That's why I'm pretty.
I was just gonna segue into talking about the game.
Oh yeah, segue.
Before we segue, that's why Hunter, I love your mom, but that's why I'm pretty sure sommeliers are imaginary.
Yeah,
I know
but
they're
a lot-
not,
a
but
lot
I'm
of-
pretty sure they are.
No. To some degree, it is imaginary, and it's like it's almost like chiropractic care in a way. It's like kind of real and kind of made up at the same time. We're playing the Stanley Parable 2, you guys.
Whoa!
Whoa.
Does everyone have your buckets?
So I
Not yet.
watched part of a stream of this game, and I gotta say, some people have way better intuition than us. Because the guy I watched, he booted up the game for the first time, like he played the original. Don't grab the bucket. And he was like, let me just do the first normal ending. And on his way to the first normal ending, he just, with his intuition, stumbled into two completely new things.
What?
It's just like, what if I do this? Oh, look, a completely new thing that I wouldn't have really thought about.
Perhaps he has simply missed a memo.
So let's do those.
Okay.
No matter how
So you
hard
said don't
Stanley
grab the
looked,
bucket.
he
Don't grab the
couldn't
bucket.
find a trace of his
Okay, so we're gonna
co-workers.
go towards the normal ending.
Yeah.
Okay. Bye, bucket.
We'll be back, bucket.
I don't know if I'm ready to do this without the bucket.
When Stanley came to
not
a set of
emotionally
two
stable
open
enough.
doors,
Dude,
he
I dealt
entered
with
the
this game
door
for
and he
10 years without a bucket. I'm all ready to go. Hello. One eye blind 95.
Hello.
Okay, because that's how many eyes she's blind in.
Woo.
Ha.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
So we're going up.
Yes, sir.
I have some interesting things to talk about.
Stanley Parable 2. Take a dump on the dump on the dump on the
I
dump.
I like to check if the writing in the bathroom is different.
It usually is.
I've only seen 2 variations so far.
Every once in a while you play Paper Mario.
Stepping
1000,
into his
you
manager's
70
office, Stanley was once again
2845.
stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley wondered aloud to nobody. He began wildly tearing through papers on the boss's desk. Stanley was in such a rush to
Alright, now I
get
gotta
through the
sit here and
story as
wait.
quickly as possible, he didn't even
Eventually, he
have a
just
single
opens
minute
the
to just
elevator
let
the second you step
narrator
into the
talk.
office.
That
Really?
kind of
Yeah, he's just like, here.
isn't it? So he relaxed for a few
Which
moments
I appreciate.
with some calming new age music.
I think I was saying something, but then I paid attention and now I don't know what it was.
So we were talking about this a little bit before the stream, but I love.
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated,
Okay,
Stanley
just okay.
calmly walked forward
So I
into the
love
opened passageway.
learning about mundane things.
Yeah.
The YouTube channel Atrocity Guide is just like so good. She just covers video essays about what's this? Oh, a collectible.
You're getting
Yay!
close now, Stanley. You've nearly gotten all of the Figler Anlarines. Very soon, you'll collect the last one, and then the first number will equal the second number, and that will be it. We'll be different people by then. Different in the sense that we used to have none of them, and now we have them all. You can't go back to when you had no Figler Anlarines.
Yeah, you can.
None of us can.
I'll go into my system preferences and I'll click on your game and I'll hit delete save data.
No, that puts the game back to having 0 Stanley to Figley Stanlerines. You'll still have 6.
No, I won't.
Figley Stanurians. So their latest video that Atrocity Guy did was about a movement of people from like.
Oh wait. So,
Okay, what do I do?
believe it or not,
Do I go back in the elevator?
you can just go back up the elevator.
Huh.
Whoops. Nope. Never mind. Stanley actually got back into the elevator and went back up. Silly me. Why did Stanley do that when he knew that it would just lead back to his boss's office? Well, that's a great question. I just can't wait to find out.
Good. I'm really curious now what's gonna happen.
Here we are, Stanley. It's your boss's office. Exactly the way it was before you got onto the elevator. It's still just exactly what it is. What a decision you've made to come up here and look at the office again. This has fleshed out the plot of the story in new and fascinating ways I could have never anticipated. It's that keen eye for storytelling that you have, an incisive rapid fire of critical plot points, one after the other, weaving a rich tapestry of uncompromising narrative. Wow! I'm bolted to the edge of my seat.
Should we just stay here for a while?
Nah, let's go back.
Oh, okay.
The question is, will we stay though?
I was gonna say, do we go down and then come back up?
Incredible. Now he's getting back into the elevator and going down again. Ladies and gentlemen, how does he keep coming up with all of this?
This is the new broom closet ending.
This is the new broom closet ending.
Let's go back up.
Surely this time Stanley will walk forward into the spooky corridor, won't he?
Nah.
That's a pretty obvious lead, narrator.
Did you think we were going to go forward down the spooky corridor? No. It's time once again to go back up in the elevator. I can't even begin to grapple with what might be up there. Is it the boss's office again? Or what if it's the boss's office this time? The suspense is killing me.
This is prime real estate for a jump scare.
I have like played a lot of survival horror games in my day, and I'm actually quite tense right now. There's not a lot of light.
Oh my god. It's the boss's office.
The little fanfare actually spooked
This
me.
absolutely changes everything for me. Give me a time out here for a minute while I process this.
A please hold sign just popped up.
I like that this whole thing is played on plastic third
Okay,
grade
I'm ready.
recorders.
I'm prepared to embrace this stunning revelation and to move forward with... No, wait. No, I need more time to process.
It's got one of those little birds that sips out of a cup. I never understood how those like office like nicknames
All right.
worked.
Are
I
those
have
all-
fully come to terms with it. I have made space in my worldview for this astonishing new reality. As before, I turn to your expert eye for gripping narrative, Master Stanley.
Master Stanley.
And so now we go down
Yeah.
and maybe back up.
Yeah.
Of course. Going back down in the elevator. How did I not anticipate it? I mean, sure, now it's obvious, but you have to understand that 30 seconds ago, this kind of thing had never been attempted before. I had no frame of reference to even anticipate it. That's just how revelatory Stanley's decision-making is. A breath of fresh air in a landscape of storytelling that has grown stale and repetitive.
Revelatory? Is that a word?
It's English. You can just make shit up.
Oh, yeah.
That's a real word, though.
Revelatory.
In America, we'd say revelatory.
Oh, that makes sense. So you're not gonna say anything until I go back up the elevator. Ooh, just silence. I don't like that. That makes me uncomfy.
You know what? I've just thought of something. Hold on, let's stop for a moment. Don't you realize? It's the anticipation, Stanley. You and I, we have no way of knowing what will be at the top of this elevator. But the suspense, the agony of waiting and anticipating and having to guess, that's the real thrill. Oh, I simply don't want to let that feeling go. It's so precious, so fleeting. Why don't we take this elevator ride nice and slow? There we go. Isn't this so much more exciting? You know,
Did it start
Stanley,
moving
it seems
again?
like
It's crawling,
nowadays
yeah.
the only thing
Nice.
that audiences want is to be shocked as loudly and frequently as possible. They want big, explosive moments flung right in their faces from the very moment that things get started. But where's the tension? Where's the trust in the audience to build a slow and nuanced appreciation for the story, the characters? Why aren't we given time to imagine the surprises, to have to think and to anticipate and then to marvel at the eventual reveal? This is storytelling, Stanley. What you and I are doing right now. This is the most exciting narrative to be developed in years, and it's really all because of you. You're the one who took this bold step of revisiting the exact same locations over and over. Truly, I mean it. This
That's
is
not a bold
unique
step.
and
Skyward
different.
Sword is
It's
10
not
years
like
old.
anything else out there. You see, I want stories that surprise
Oh,
me,
wow,
Stanley.
Skyward Sword is like
I want to
15
have to
years old.
think. I want to be engaged and not pandered to.
That's a game we can
We're
talk
being
about.
fed such unimaginative drivel all the time, and we all know it, which is why we're so starved for content that makes us feel sharp and vital and alive. That's why people like you so much, Stanley. Because you're not afraid to spit in the face of tradition. You're a role model, you know? People look up to you. Which is why... Oh, I didn't know when to spring this on you, but, well, I've gathered a little press conference for you, so that you can talk about your work and your storytelling and your life. Yes, I know you're not much for the public eye, but I thought it would especially mean a lot to the people who have been following you from the beginning. They really look up to you, Stanley. I don't know if you realize the impact you have on them. This is the kind of gesture that might leave a tremendous impact on them for the better. Oh, good, we're here.
Everything's different now.
Okay, the room where we're holding the press conference should be just around the corner here somewhere.
Big poster. Stanley, 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 live on stage. Fancy building.
Glamorous.
An evening world peace, baby. Okay.
Ah, yes, here it is, just through this door. All right, are you ready? I've told them you're going to speak a little bit about the nature of surprise in storytelling and what it means to craft a truly unpredictable narrative. Oh, don't worry, you'll do great. Just be yourself and speak from the heart. I'm really proud of you, Stanley. Okay, it looks like they're ready for you. Go get 'em.
Just stadium, just showing people.
Did we
Is that
die?
it?
Did we die?
Did we die?
I guess.
Yeah, sure looks like it. Boy, that was strange.
It's new content.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply
Go
missed a
do
memo.
the other thing up there.
No matter
Actually, there's
how
two other
hard
things.
Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Do it, do it, do it.
So Skyward Sword
When Stanley came to a set of
Yeah.
two
Is
open
the game-
doors, he entered the door on his left.
that I
Correct.
hate.
Really? I don't hate it. Just think it's kind of long, like every Zelda game.
It's I hate it, but I really like some of it. That's how I kind of feel about it. There's some parts of the game where I'm like,
Coming
oh,
to
this
a
is
staircase,
really
Stanley
cool, or
walked
this is a good
upstairs
idea,
to
or
his
this is really
boss's
fun.
office.
I really like it
Some of it's
once.
just
The problem
really
is you have to play it
annoying.
10 times
Yeah.
before you beat it.
Yeah. And like,
And like all Zelda games are long, yeah, but like
Most of them aren't
ooh,
just the same thing.
a new bathroom message. Money in the morning, money in the evening, money for breakfast, money crisp.
Delicious.
Yummy.
but like in Ocarina of Time, there's 7 temples.
Okay, I think we all know the
After
drill
you're
by
grown
now.
up.
Blah, blah, blah. Dark
7
secrets,
temples
the
after the
keypad,
5
Stanley pushes
temples.
some buttons. Oh, hey, look, it's a new
Three
passageway.
temples.
Quelle surprise.
But they're all different. Like every one, you go to a new place and do a thing.
Yep.
It's not like you're just doing them over and over again.
Did he just open the?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did he? Oh.
I wasn't listening.
Majora's Mask is my favorite Zelda game.
It's my favorite 3D Zelda game.
I think that's mostly due to nostalgia. I have not played very many 2D Zelda games.
Link's Awakening
Stanley
is my
walked
favorite
straight
Zelda
ahead through
game.
the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
I'm doing that yet.
Yeah. So in the monitor room, you can just fall off.
Oh, really?
I don't know the details, but
The
you can
lights
just
rose
fall
on
off.
an enormous
Okay.
room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Falling off shouldn't be
Now the
hard.
monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building,
can tell that
Stanley's
there's just gonna
co-workers.
be a
The
small
lives of
opening
so many
somewhere.
individuals reduced to images on a screen.
If you're not
And
paying
Stanley,
attention,
one
you'll
of them,
miss
eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
I mean, you're by the sound of it, you're walking on like thin metal grating. That implies there's an underneath.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason
get
he
on
was
the
happy
elevator.
with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
If you just wait here, eventually you can go backwards.
Really?
Yeah.
Does it normally prevent you from going backwards?
It does. Sorry, microphone. I didn't mean to punch you like that.
Fuck you, microphone. Punch. Punch. Punch.
Oh, you're right. It does just open back up.
Yeah. And you can press the lights, or
switch or the light switch?
It's not what I intended to show, but since we're here.
Oh,
Secret Room Games. Secret Room 2014. Secret Year. Never give up your secrets.
The song is like 6 minutes long.
I love this.
I can't.
Oh, there we go.
Aha! You've made it to the bottom of the mind control facility. Welcome! You see, back when the Stanley Parable first launched in 2013, getting to the bottom of the mind control facility was a bug that we simply didn't catch during development. Anyway, when it came time to update the game, we knew that we had to do something about this little goof of ours, so here you go. New content. You can call it the bottom of the mind control room ending, if that enhances your perception of the value of these updates. Isn't that what you crave? New content?
Yes.
Always more content, more, more. And I'm here to give it to you. I'm here to make it seem like we really covered every nook and cranny of the game with secrets and Easter eggs. How about this? We wrote a new piece of music just for this section. You won't hear it anywhere else in the game. It's a secret that's just for you. That's how special you are. We call this track, Good Job You've Made It to the Bottom of the Mind Control Facility. Well done.
Good job, you did it. Good job. 3, 2, 1. Good job, you made it to the bottom of the mind control facility. Jumped on the catwalk. You should have been careful. You should have been careful. It used to be a bug, but now it's an ending. Now it's an ending. I believe in you. I believe in your ability to cross this barrier and chase your dreams. The railings don't mean anything. Good job, you did it. 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 Good job, you did it.
Thanks.
I feel
That was
accomplished.
great. That was one of my favorite endings. So
That's it. It's done.
that's
now?
it.
That's it.
Nice.
Good job, you did it.
Okay.
Well, the only other thing I know about is that when you approach the like cargo lift area, there's a completely new area over there.
Oh, really?
And when I saw that,
Stanley
I
had
stopped
never seen
watching
the
the
office
stream.
this brightly lit. Was it a sign of something? He hoped it was.
I'm not
He
gonna
hoped
bring it
very
back in
much
this
that
time.
it was.
You know what I never do? I never go through the right
When
door.
Stanley
and then
came to a set of
accept
2
the
open
invitation
doors,
to go back
he
on
entered
track.
the door on
Does
his
that
left.
change anything? Do you know?
I don't think so.
I'm gonna
This
do it
was
for
not the
funsies.
correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Good job. You did it.
Stanley
Yeah,
felt
do
like
you think that was him?
butterflies in his stomach.
Maybe.
But eager to get back to
it
business,
doesn't- it doesn't
Stanley
sound
took the
like him.
first open door on his
Might have
left.
been the same voice actor, but he was doing 2 different
And so he
characters.
detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead
it's-
to the
it's- I
opposite
don't think it's in
door,
here.
and got back on track.
Oh, there's an elevator.
Yeah,
that I've never
that's
seen
normally here. That's for some other endings we haven't done yet.
before. Oh, okay, okay.
I think it's for one
We'll
other.
get back to that.
It might have been like a vent.
Okay, well, we're not there, quite there yet.
Did we pass it?
Coming to a staircase,
think we went the wrong
Stanley
way.
walked
Did we?
upstairs to his boss's office.
We could restart.
After all, why not? Why shouldn't I? Begin the game again.
Whoop. It's the we started it over ending. Haha.
Ah,
Wouldn't be surprised if he had.
Hey, look, there's a phone ringing.
what the fuck?
If you can find it, you should answer it.
I would love to find it. Oh, there it is.
Good morning. Thank you for contacting the Future Happiness Foundation. We are confirming your shipment of 1,327 cardboard boxes to your place of work. Can you verify that this is correct? Excellent. Your order will arrive shortly. Thank you again for contacting the Future Happiness Foundation.
Yay.
Yay.
I love the Future Happiness Foundation.
What's that?
I don't know.
I don't know. I haven't watched the YouTube videos explaining what it is yet.
Is there like actual lore?
I
to this?
doubt it.
Yeah, I doubt it too.
That won't stop the YouTubers.
This is true. This is no doubt true.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Wait. No. You gotta go through the right door, though.
Oh, you're supposed to go through the right
Yeah.
I get lost because so much of this game looks like the same but different.
Yeah.
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 The back rooms.
Yeah.
In the bathroom. Yeah, that was a deep cut Nintendo Capri
No,
Sun
it wasn't.
reference.
That's the least deep cut Nintendo Capri Sun
Yeah,
reference you could have
but-
done.
Yeah, but the Zoomers don't know who he is.
No,
so
The Zoomers don't know what YouTube is.
that scares me.
Whatever, YouTube's
I
been.
can't wait to
YouTube
tell
is
you
20
how
years
much
old,
fun
man.
Stanley thought.
There's
How amusing, no fun.
people move on.
But we all just laugh and laugh at the time I thought everyone had gone missing.
There's so many boxes everywhere.
I bet.
So we ordered those boxes
We did.
in the last respawn. So in this respawn, there's boxes.
I like it.
What a deep storyline.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Okay. So
The lounge was grand, majestic, perhaps too majestic. Like a combination of a much smaller version and a much larger version of this exact room. It all made Stanley, but eager to get back to business,
we
Stanley
don't wanna
took the
take-
first open door on his left.
keep going straight, and then keep an eye out for something.
An alternate path.
Yeah, or a
Stanley
vent.
was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
It's not even a Nintendo Capri Sun reference. That's
Alright, yeah.
not Yankovic.
It's Weird Al.
Well, Weird Al is ancient. Weird Al might as well be Frank Sinatra.
Kind of though.
Hey Google, how old is Weird Al Yankovic?
Sorry, I don't have any information about that.
Why?
I don't know. He's 10,000 years old.
Wait a second. Oh, I found it.
What was
I
it?
also found the last Stanley.
Hey.
Yes. I had to parkour
And there
together.
it is, the last Stiggly Wiggly. Savor this moment, Stanley. This is a real accomplishment. This is doing something just
the
for the
screenshot
sake
button.
of doing it. Where so many people expect to be rewarded for the most trivial achievements, you've insisted that a job well done is its own reward. I would tell you that I'm proud of you for collecting them all, but that would be like a reward, and we can't have that. So, instead I'll just say, it's done. We're all done here. And now we can go to whatever the hell you were doing before you hunted for figurines.
That was lovely.
I bet there's gonna be more. I bet there's a 7th one, and I bet it'll confuse the shit out of the narrator. You know, on the Switch.
On the Switch.
New territory.
Stanley had now gotten himself so far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun.
Now I'm scared.
I'm scared. There's tapes skirted everywhere.
So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path
when the narrator
that it seemed
goes
the office
from
had begun. So far off.
It's always weird when
You
the
didn't
narrator...
think I was actually just a recording, did you? What a silly and trite explanation that would be. All the back and forth between you and me, all the absurd adventures we've been through, and it all turns out I'm just a tape recording? It was all just in Stanley's head. I bet that's the kind of twist you think is revelatory. I bet each and every time you watch a movie where it turns out all to be in the main character's imagination, you must absolutely bolt off the couch in pure shock at the phenomenal and intricate storytelling. It must be so simple to be you. Life being an unending waterfall of surprises and delights. How much more exciting you must find the world than the rest of us do.
That is tied with the main character
Now
is
I
in a
become
coma.
sad. Look
for
what
the
you've
most
done to me.
common
This is
fan
all
theory
your
about literally
fault.
anything.
Yeah. Oh. He ended that run.
That's it?
Guess we gotta go back there. No, there's more stuff back there.
Oh.
But I like crossed the threshold for that thing. So I was like, well, I better do that thing.
Do we still have our boxes?
No, all the boxes are gone.
Stanley,
oh
I'm
God.
sorry, but I have to put a pause on things. It's those figurines, those fiddlers. I haven't stopped thinking about them since you nabbed every last one. Wasn't it just the most intrinsically fulfilling moment of your
He's
entire
locked us
life?
in
Didn't
a
it fill
weird
you to the
room.
brim with inner richness? Yes, I know we're supposed to be telling a story, but won't you please indulge me with one more trip back to the memory zone? I would love nothing more than to revisit the figurines. Just one more
Epic
time.
fantasy game.
I listened through every bit of dialogue in the skip button ending. It was like
Oh my
an
goodness.
hour of dialogue.
I bet.
Can you send me, if there's like a link to a supercut of that, I'll watch it.
Let's see. I just watched it on a stream.
We're back to the memory zone. Now we're going downstairs into the secret compartment.
Here's where it all began. The first collectible. Back then, we had no idea of how many of them we'd find. Sure, it said 6 right there on the screen, but how could we know for certain?
Are we just
We were so innocent.
recollecting?
We'll
them
never be
all
like
right
that
now?
again, Stanley.
Content.
Yep. Here's the first collectible in a really scary spot, just like I remember.
Woo.
7 out of 6 now.
Oh my god. Alex is right.
Sometimes this game can be a little predictable. Don't let the
Oh
narrator
my
hear me
God.
say
Here
that.
was a second Stanlerine. I'll be honest. Back then, I had no faith in you to find any of them, let alone 6. But you continue to surprise me in all sorts of mundane, unremarkable ways.
Yay.
8 out
That's
of
us.
6 now.
We're gonna stack overflow.
Wouldn't 7 have been 0 and
Okay,
8
let's
have been
do a
1?
little quiz.
Yeah.
Which of these rooms was the room you found your third mini stand? Can you remember?
Red and blue think it was the boss's bathroom.
I like Stiggly Wiggly.
Stiggly Wiggly.
Stiggly Figgly? Is that what we call him?
No. The boss's bathroom was the 4th place you found a
God
figure,
damn it.
not the 3rd. Well, I guess perhaps I shouldn't be surprised. Memories like these are so precious and so cherished that they all just sort of blend together, don't they? You know what? If the boss's bathroom feels like the 3rd place you found a collectible, then who am I to go making judgments?
We got 9 out of 6 now.
69.
Let's see, what came next? Oh yes, we found a Figgly in this pink room. Oh well,
A
I
what?
can't actually say I remember being in this room, but
Me
it's
neither.
here in the memory zone, so it must have happened.
This pink room seems rather suspicious. Ooh, nice.
She took her math test for being a teacher. Improper fraction.
This was the 5th mini stand, and this one was
She aced
really
it, too.
something special. It was behind the boss's office. I remember it so clearly. In fact, because this one is particularly special to me, I made a little video to commemorate the occasion. Enjoy.
Oh my god, it's the oldest form of YouTube video with all the bad editing.
Good.
How'd you find the stand? By the narrator. What's that over there? All the bad transitions. Oh, it's so
It's got
good.
like fucking Windows Movie Maker editing.
Yeah, it's mini stand number 5. Oh my god, there's clip art of 2 businessmen high-fiving. Yeah! You found it behind the boss's office. Thanks for watching. There's credits.
Takes you back, doesn't it? I spent a lot of time making that video, but it was 8 minutes I wouldn't have spent on anything else.
You based it.
I may be paranoid. Who knows? Not me. Who said that?
Based.
Who are you people?
Who are you people?
And then, Stanley, then we came to the last collectible, the final figurine, right here in the warehouse. This memory is the most distinct and clear in my mind, perhaps because it was the one that happened more recently than all the others.
Yeah.
Who can truly say how the mind works? All I know is that this is the moment where you picked up a Figgly and I thought to myself, yes, that's all of them. They're all collected. It was a moment unlike any other. Except for the other moments picking up figurines, which it was exactly like.
Well, we got 12 out of 6 of them.
Patrick Star said what?
Who are you people?
I thought she was saying he said Windows Movie Maker. And I was really like, I don't think that was in SpongeBob.
Windows Movie Maker.
We're in a weird circular
And then
room with a TV.
there was no more. Because we've caught
Our
up to the
perspective
present
is
moment.
cast on
Nothing
the
left
TV.
to do but move onward into the future.
I could look
Goodbye,
at the TV
memory
for
zone.
TVs. That was weird.
No,
What?
I'm not
We're in
done.
the loading
I'm not
screen,
ready to move
narrator.
on. Stop the loading screen. Isn't there some way we can stay here, keep enjoying these figurines? Let's just go backwards. We'll do the memory zone again from the opposite direction. See how that feels.
I don't wanna. I don't wanna.
I guess we're gonna.
I guess so.
Okay, yes, this spot in the warehouse. I remember this. I must say, of all the figurines we looked at in our initial tour of the memory zone, this one is the most distinct and clear in my mind. Let's keep going. I want more.
Got 13 out of 6 of them.
Good.
This is pretty good. My microphone was all all the way over there. This is.
And here's where I made that video. Don't you remember the video we watched?
Let's watch it backwards.
Please make yes, yes. I'm so happy you just smash cut the video in front of me
I love
again.
that video.
Part of me wanted them to just play the entire video full length again.
I was hoping for it backwards.
That would have been pretty
Still
funny.
don't remember the pink room, Stanley. Still no memory of this one. Good room, though. A solid room.
Got 15 out of 6. We're doing great.
We're doing good.
We're nailing it.
We're totally not going to do this
These really
again.
were a treat to hunt down. You know, if there had been any kind of reward for finding all of these, it really would have muted the intrinsic joy of collecting them. I'm very glad we resisted the temptation. Next one.
Fuck you, dude.
We got 2 more.
No.
No.
No, we don't have 2 more. We have like 8.
This was our second figure. Don't you remember? Yes, I remember it too. The past is truly a wonderful thing. Why does anyone ever choose to leave it? Keep going. This is it, the very first one we found in the exhibit where I introduced you to the figurines. Oh, I want more memories, Stanley. I want to keep going. What else is there? What came before this?
Oh, there's some mysterious green light in the distance. Exit sign. Collect them all. Can you find them? Can you collect them all? Oh, we're back in the big exhibit room again. But it's different. Oh my god, the jump
Look,
circle.
it's the terrible new content that we were originally sold on. I remember hating it back then. Time does put a rosy filter on everything. In fact, I dare say I'm actually quite fond of it now. Look how much fun the past is. I want more. More memories.
I want my jump circle back.
Yeah, how about the memory of the times we jumped? We got 35. 35 precious jumps.
The 2 doors. Who could have forgotten that? A classic memory, this one.
I guess I'll go through the left one. Oh no, it doesn't matter. At least it's the same room. Our office.
And before everything else, there was your office.
Is this
Is
lazy?
there anything else? Was there something that came before your office? There's something I feel I can remember. I can remember. Yes, I'm remembering something now. I remember before this whole story got started. Back then I was different. I used to make big decisions. I was passionate. I was skeptical. I weighed each decision with profound thoughtfulness. And then somewhere along the way, I stopped making decisions. I became lazy, and I came up with a character named Stanley to do my thinking for me. He would make the decisions, he would decide which way to go. I would cheer him on as he collected figurines for no reason. Why did I invent Stanley? Was I lonely? Yes, perhaps that's it. Perhaps I needed to imagine I had companionship. And Stanley really did make for a wonderful companion, even if he was a fiction. But I suppose it's grown old. I want to think for myself again. I want to go back to how it used to be. Yes, I can be on my own again. I can do it. I'll be stronger this time. I'll take care of myself. I don't need Stanley anymore. Oh, but he truly was so much fun to play with. You know what? Since we're in the memory zone, how about one more good memory? Let's go back just once and give Stanley one more run of the office, and then I'll retire him for good. I did enjoy telling his story so very much. Okay, here we go. This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Then we can play the narrator parable.
Huh. Wonder what a memory zone of my brain would look like. That was an interesting ending.
Yeah. I don't know if it's over. I can't tell.
I can never
All of his
tell.
co-workers were gone. What
I'm
could
gonna
it
go down
mean?
that one elevator.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
And then you can just like close the doors on either side of the hallway.
Yeah.
And narrator will be like, congrats. You're in the hallway.
Oh, and I guess this is where Stanley felt he needed to be right now, in this little hallway. Here, with no distractions, to study room 417. Not to actually enter it. No, 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 no. That would be far too forward. Stanley wanted to know it from the outside. To see it not just with his eyes, but with his heart. He would know room 417 as no man or woman had ever known an office before. That ladder over there. Oh, and that little picture of a horizon or something. It's all just a never-ending parade of joy for Stanley.
I like this one.
Ah, no, apparently not. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting
Does,
room, and
does the
Stanley
game
knew it
actually end?
perfectly well. Perhaps
you
he
just
wanted to
stay in
stop
the
by the
I don't know.
employee lounge first.
The fact that he
just to
reacted
admire
to you
it.
leaving makes me think that there was more
And
there.
here it was,
I have no idea.
the lounge.
I didn't expect him to
But
react to me
eager to
leaving.
get
I didn't
back
either.
to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
No. This is a good one.
But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go, from here it's, left. Oh, no, it's to the right, my mistake. No, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please?
Now we're playing Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes.
Left, down,
I
left,
like that game.
right.
Me too.
Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
It's very dark. Oh, okay.
No,
we're back in
no,
my
no,
control.
no, 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 no,
The
no.
top.
This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay. We just have to get back to, oh, who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, Okay, from the top.
Sure.
I promise I won't do that again immediately.
That's definitely the real.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Dunk.
When Stanley... Wait,
what?
Wait, what? No, I restarted. I swear, I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be... Oh, did something change? Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors? Did you move the story somewhere, or... Hold on.
I did it.
Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay, then. It's an adventure. Come, Stanley.
goodness.
Let's find the story.
There's 4 doors to choose from.
Oh no. That's a lot.
It's a lot
It's a
of doors.
very ontological game. Ryan, that was very unladylike.
Okay.
Oh god. There's
Maybe
just-
because I'm unlike any lady you've ever seen.
I'll say it.
Bada bing,
This is
bada
the
boom.
worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again? Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not?
You started the game on me again.
Can't progress like that.
Progress in this aluminium world we
All of
live
his
in.
co-workers were gone.
All these
What could it
aubergines.
mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Wow!
Great,
Okay,
now there's no
it's
door.
worse. I might be remembering this wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
Okay.
Now I'm gonna lock myself in this tiny hole. Oh, I can't.
Hey, honey, you said your dinner plans.
Aha! I knew we'd miss something. The story. Here it comes. No, wait. Never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our
I
steps.
keep hitting dead ends.
Yeah. It's very back rooms.
Oh god. Oh god. Everything's got
Now this... Well, I'll be honest. I don't recognize this place at all.
Me
Is this
neither.
the story? I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct? Do you remember,
I
Stanley?
feel like I'm on the inside.
Well, do you know
of a
what?
part
Since
of a
I've
barn.
completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win! Congratulations! I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off. So, good job.
Thanks.
Yay.
Hooray!
No, I don't feel right about this at all. We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win.
Yeah, we
Some
did.
people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations. Okay, I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart.
I don't love the back rooms.
What?
I don't love what the back rooms have become on the internet.
Neither do I.
At the very core of it is like an interesting idea about like superliminal spaces.
Yeah.
But like
All right, I've got a solution.
There's a
This
big
time,
yellow
to make
stripe
sure
on
we
the
don't
ground.
get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable Adventure Line. Just follow the line. How simple is that?
It also says the Stanley Parable 2 Adventure Line. Because after
Oh!
all, we are playing the Stanley
That's a
Parable
good
2.
little thing they changed.
yeah.
Ooh, here's a set of doors I've never been through before.
But that idea of like an unsettling space,
Like
You
Cracker
see,
Barrel.
the line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny.
Okay, Alex, double time.
Here's a
doesn't need
thought.
to include
Wouldn't
refugee
wherever we
camps and
end up
loot
be our
drops and enemy
destination,
spawns.
even if there's no
True.
story there. Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story? Simply by the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Whoa. Hang on. That got a bit weird back there.
Line is getting very
Well, I'd
silly.
like to apologize. Not sure where I was going with all that.
Ooh, big question.
You know what?
mark with
I
a
think
bunch
what
of
we
small
need right
question
now
marks.
is a bit of music to lighten the mood.
Best thing.
cut the music, go back and look at that fern. Stanley, this fern will be very important later in the story. Make sure you study it closely and remember it carefully. You won't want to miss anything.
Got it.
All right, have we walked away?
Yeah.
How
Wait,
many
what?
leaves did the
We're
fern
back at the
have?
office? No. Line,
5.
you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story? Is any of this ringing a bell?
Oh no. We've looped back around.
Damn it, Line. You had one job, Line.
You had one job, Line. I'll go back to my office.
Maybe we need a bucket.
Yeah, where's my emotional support bucket? Am I just supposed to keep going through?
Oh, no, not again, Line. How could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you.
Technically,
after
it
everything
worked.
we've been through, you... Oh, I can't take this anymore. To hell with it. Restart.
Damn.
He's getting annoyed.
Spoiled again.
Oh, we still have a big line.
You know what, Stanley? I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us? We're intelligent people, right? Why can't we make up our own story? Something exciting, daring, mysterious. Ooh, this all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction?
Ooh, never been through here.
Now, yes, this is exciting. Just me and Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything. What do you want our story to be? Go wild. Use your imagination. Whatever it might be, Stanley, I'm ready for it.
It's just empty
Oh,
holes.
no, not you again. Stanley, I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story. No lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it, and we should be fine.
I'm gonna follow the line. I don't like how quiet it is. Also, sometimes the line like crashes through like the ceiling.
What does that mean?
Like the painted line
Ah,
is shown
a
going
choice.
into the ceiling.
We get to
and
make
the
a
ceiling
decision.
is also
From
smashed.
here, the story is in our control.
It's a powerful
How
line.
important we mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute. Okay, so I know that each door has to lead somewhere, which means that somewhere, the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin.
I hate
So
that I could quote
starting
this from
the
memory.
Right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley, our destiny awaits.
Yes, sir.
Oh, hold up, what's this?
The confusion ending.
The confusion ending? You're telling me
Narrator restarts
that's what
the
this
game.
is?
Hit restart.
It's all
Narrator
one
forgets
giant
about previous
ending?
restarts.
And we're
People
supposed to
play
restart the game,
confusion
what,
ending for
eight
18 minutes.
times? That's really how all this goes? It's all
Oh, there's
determined?
So much.
So now, according to the schedule, I
Sure,
restart
long time
again.
Stanley
Then what?
dies.
Am I just supposed to forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing. Wall. Well, who consulted me? Why don't I get to decide? Why don't I get a say in all of this? Is it really... No, it can't be. I don't want it to be. I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it. And the timer stopped?
A little HD rumble there?
Does that mean, did we do it?
cool.
Did we break the cycle? The, whatever it is that made this schedule? How would we even know? Will someone come for us? Will something happen?
So, okay. I guess now we just wait. You know, I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story, wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey, though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination. So I hope that's where we are right now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually. Well, in the meantime, if you...
Oh, I didn't like that.
I didn't like it either.
It's like the closest thing to a jump scare in this game.
That was unsettling.
Yeah. Somebody else restarted. There are, as far as I remember, exactly
All of this
2
code
more
isn't
normal
gone.
endings
What
that
could it
we've not
be?
done.
Stanley decided to go to the
Without
meeting
the
room.
bucket,
Without the
Perhaps he had
bucket,
simply
yeah.
missed a memo.
What do I do?
So the first one is we jump to the ledge on the cargo lift, but we actually follow him through the red door.
Oh, gotcha.
That one's kind of sad.
Oh no.
When Stanley came to a set
I don't know
of
how I
two
feel
open-
about it.
this
It's
was
a
not
weird
the
one.
correct
We'll
way
see.
to the meeting
I don't know
room,
how I
and
feel about
Stanley
any
knew
of this
perfectly
game. I
well.
just know I like it.
Perhaps he wanted to
Yeah.
stop by the
Yeah.
employee lounge first, just to admire it. It was okay.
It was okay.
Eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions.
Both of these
it's
endings we're about to
incredible
do
he wasn't
get
5
kind of
years
sad.
ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here.
You say it like
I'm
that
not
ahead
your
of time.
enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. What? Really?
Nailed it.
I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let
And
me
that's
prove
why
it. Let me
that phone
prove
call
that I'm on
ends so
your
well for
side.
us.
Give me a chance. Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
And I listened.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, thank God you are willing to listen to me. Do you see that I really have wanted you to be happy all this time? The problem is all these choices. The two of us always trying to get somewhere that isn't here. Running and running and running, just the way you're doing right now. Don't you see that it's killing us, Stanley? I wanted to stop. We would both be so much happier if we just stopped. And I think,
Oh my God, are we getting
well, I
dumped
think
right
I
now?
have a solution.
Are we what?
Here.
We're getting dumped
Let
right
me
now?
show you.
Not good.
We're dying. Maybe we're dying.
I went through a door and now there's just blackness.
What do we want? What are we looking for?
Oh. Found a mysterious doorway.
Here.
Space?
Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it? If we just stay right here, right in this moment with this place, Stanley, I think I feel happy. I actually feel happy.
It's Zen. It's vaporwave.
This one is sad.
Yeah, but it's pretty. I
Yeah.
could stay here for a while.
It's not sad yet.
I know eventually I'm going to have to leave.
It is not sad for Stanley or you.
Let's just be here forever.
I could be here forever. But alas, I can't.
No, wait. Where are you going?
Let's go back. Let's go back in.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Right. Where were we?
There should be an achievement for staying in here for like a day.
Why would we ever leave?
Oh no! Stay away from those stairs. If you hurt yourself, if you die, the game will reset. We'll lose all of this. Please, no, Stanley, let me stay here. Don't take this from me.
Oh shit.
Please, Stanley, think about what you're doing.
I killed myself and ruined his day. Yeesh. Sorry, narrator.
No! Oh, thank God. You lived. You had me worried there for a moment. Now, can we please get back to the other room?
Sure.
Yeah. Ooh, different colors this time.
There. See? This is what you want. This is where we can both be happy. We really can. If we stop moving, we just have to stop moving.
Do nothing.
It's so pretty. But alas, I must do it.
There's hands to shake, suicides to commit.
Stanley, go back. There's nothing good that can come from this.
Narrator, you're the bad guy.
No.
I feel bad for
No,
you.
no, what are you doing, Stan? Do you just not believe me? What can I say to convince you? Stanley, let's go back to the other room. Can you do that for me?
Oh, that was sad. That was sad. I'm gonna go back to the other room.
Yes, perhaps you can. Perhaps you finally see what I'm talking about. I know you'll see that we can't be happy if we leave this place. You can see that, can't you?
Narrator doesn't know all.
I mean, technically at this point in this ending, he's done nothing bad. He's just a good guy.
No,
He was honest.
perhaps not.
But he
You
did
know
blow
what?
us up a few times.
Yeah.
But we're not supposed to remember that.
We're the villain in this ending.
My God, is this really how much you dislike my game? That you'll throw yourself from this platform over and over to be rid of it? You were literally willing to kill yourself to keep me from being happy. Am I reading the situation correctly?
I guess it is that way, huh?
Ain't no pacifist ending here.
I mean, you could stand in the room, turn the game off, and never play it again. That's kind of the same kind of shit Undertale pulls, though, also.
Yeah, I was thinking that's very Undertale attitude. towards
Undertale's
games.
like, you could not play. It's like, no, shut up.
Or maybe you're just getting a kick out of it. I don't know anymore. I just wanted us to get along. But I guess that was too much to ask. It looks like you wanted to make a choice after all. Well, this one is yours.
I'm sad.
I'm sad too. That's sad.
This is sad.
Are we all the way dead yet?
No. I gotta keep throwing myself off this balcony.
We can go back to the happy room.
Nothing happens in the happy room. We're just happy.
Is it over? It's going to restart, isn't it? I'm going back.
That one's really sad. I don't want to play this game anymore.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, that was really sad. Whatever. I know what this developer's capable of. They've made the beginner's guide.
I have not played that game.
We'll get there.
I don't know how we gotta do it. I want.
Hey, there's a bucket.
The good old bucket.
Oh, we're doing a bucket
Stanley
ending?
and the
What are we
bucket.
doing?
Off on another
I don't
thrilling
know.
adventure.
It just
Stanley
it
clutched
just
the
appeared
bucket
in front
tightly to
of
his
my
chest
office, so I
and
felt
entered
tempted
the
to pick it
door
up.
on his left.
Bucket.
Choose the ending then.
Okay, we'll do whatever you want.
Let's do the secret escape ending, but with the bucket. Now that I've seen so much of the game again.
Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers. Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket
Hi,
walked
Sean.
upstairs to the boss's
Hi, Sean.
office.
Well, narrator, you heard him. Shad's ass.
Buckets. Buckets are popping.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to
Oh, we're doing
discover
the
not
light.
an
Oh, okay.
indication
I
of
know what you
any
mean.
human life.
Escape.
Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotion, but Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this
I
is
feel as
certainly
though
the most
bucket has
logical
been guiding me since
explanation.
birth.
Maybe the bucket will save us from the machine.
That would be nice.
The machine.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility. Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley and the bucket would both meet a violent death. The door behind them was not shut. Stanley and the bucket still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
If you click that door, does
At
it
this
shut?
point, Stanley and the bucket were knowingly walking forward into a very painful death for each of them.
I'm like so far away from the door at this point. I just keep walking.
Maybe there's dialogue for if we turn around to go.
Let's find out what happens next. I believe in the bucket.
I also believe
It will save us. It can save us. Crunch. Narrator? Narrator?
Hello.
As the machine whirred
Oh,
into
hi,
motion,
you're late.
Stanley and the bucket inched closer to their demise. Stanley reflected on how meaningless the bucket's warmth and comfort had turned out to be.
No!
To be sure, it puts the mind and the soul at ease to embrace the bucket. But what use is a sense of ease when you're about to be crushed to death? This is what Stanley thought to himself, and he sort of kicked himself for wasting so much time carrying a bucket everywhere. Farewell, Stanley.
My bucket!
Oh, we'll be fine. Bucket will save us.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley and the bucket were led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral
Okay.
instant, the bucket's
Did it again.
life came
I'm
to
sorry,
an
Mike.
end, as it was crushed violently to death.
Violently to death.
It was a shame, the death of such a magnificent bucket. It's true that all buckets are radiant in their own way, but this one stood above the rest. It was a glorious bucket to behold.
The bucket. Welcome to you and the grand. Welcome you to the grand exhibit.
Is it a bucket museum now?
I think it's a bucket museum now.
Good.
Can you see how arrogant it was for Stanley to take a bucket like this and to claim it for his own? Can you see the hubris that blinded him? Can you see that the bucket is far more noble than Stanley will ever be in his short life?
It's a picture of a bucket with 2 handles. There's just a big mural of a bunch of buckets.
Buckets.
There's just buckets everywhere.
Buckets.
Ooh. Inferno bucket. A replica of the Inferno bucket, which in the medieval era was so powerfully alluring that it drove dozens of nations to war with one another for control of it. Billions died, and yet in spite of it all, the simple fact remains, no one can control a bucket.
Damn.
It's a cave painting about buckets.
What is that?
Chanting.
Cave drawing. While we know that the bucket predates the existence of mankind, we do not know by how long. This cave drawing depicts early man's discovery of the practical uses of the bucket, by which time the bucket had already likely been around for several millennia. Notice in these drawings how the bucket is allowing itself to be used, having judged humanity to be worthy of its treasures.
When you pick up the bucket,
No
is
man
Stanley
can
like
own
hugging
a
it?
bucket, and certainly
So,
not a
like,
bucket
we
as
don't have-
dazzling
we
to
don't have
behold
arms,
as this
so-
one.
Oh,
It is man
It's kinda
who should
floats.
kneel before the bucket.
all right. It's Half-Life.
There's just a hanging bucket. This place symbolizes the necessary relationship between bucket and humanity. However clear our grasp of the bucket may be, there is more yet that is always out of reach. This distance, inevitably, is for our own good.
It's Half-Life. You're playing from a 0th person perspective. You're just eyes.
I touched the bucket.
Eyes and
Everything went
telekinesis.
black.
But there is something we can do. Something we can do together, you and I, that will right this terrible wrong. Let Stanley die. Let him be crushed by the machine. Don't reset the game. Don't give him another opportunity to run off with another beautiful bucket. We can save the world's buckets from their treatment as tools and implements if only we let Stanley die together. The
Okay.
bucket shall take its place as ruler, as leader, as commander of a new world, a new vision.
Yay!
Yay.
All hail the
Oh.
bucket!
Bucket be praised.
We have sacrificed
There
to the
is-
bucket. What?
Oh my god, I can't remember what this is called now. There's a Netflix animated series where it's basically just a bunch of vignettes. Love, Death, and Robots. I don't know if you've heard of it before.
I haven't.
They range the gambit from very serious to very sad to very funny. They're just like very unique. But one of them is about yogurt that becomes sentient and eventually rules over all of humanity, and that kind of reminded me of that.
Let's do the
All of
last
his
normal
co-workers
ending.
were gone.
What do we
could it
have to
mean?
do?
We
Stanley decided
gotta
to go to the
ride the
meeting
cargo
room.
lift
Perhaps
over
he
to the
had simply missed a
phone.
memo.
Excuse me.
To the phone, to the phone, to the phone, 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 phone.
Oh, I think I know where we're going, and I want to do it twice in a row, but with the bucket the second time.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on
his
his
You
right.
don't have to do it twice in a row, but I'm really excited.
This was
for
not
that.
the correct way to the meeting room,
Bucket
and Stanley knew it
this.
perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. It was okay.
It was okay.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
And I keep going straight.
Yep.
Stanley was so bad at following directions,
Ride
it's
the
incredible he
lift.
wasn't 5 years
Ride
ago.
the lift.
The left, the left.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here.
Do I jump off the
I'm
lift?
not your
Nope.
enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult,
Ride
but the
the
fact
lift.
is that the story has
There's
been about
lift in
nothing
this
but
one.
you all this time.
Lift.
There's someone you've been neglecting,
She's got a
Stanley.
thing about butts.
Someone you've forgotten about. Please,
Butts.
stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her. This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself, to put your work aside, to let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
So do I just not pick up the phone?
What else can
That's
we
her,
do?
Stanley. You need to be the one to
Usually
do this.
the options
to
are go
reach out
forward
to
or
her.
leave.
If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
But what else? What can we do?
Can I unplug the phone? And then, can I go out through here? Let me leave.
Try the plug.
Was I on the right track?
As Stanley picked up the phone, a white light engulfed him, filling him not just with radiance, but with hope. Hope for a life reunited one... Wait. Oh, goodness. Stanley, did you just unplug the phone? No, that wasn't supposed to be a choice. How did you do that? You actually chose incorrectly. I didn't even know that was possible. Let me double check. No, it's definitely here, clear as day. Stanley picks up the phone. He's taken to his apartment where he finds his wife, and the two pledge themselves to one another. Music comes in, fade to white, roll credits. Not picking up the phone is actually somehow an incorrect course of action. How is that even possible? None of these decisions were supposed to mean anything. I don't understand. How on earth are you making meaningful choices? What did you... Wait a second. Did I just see... No, that's not possible. I can't believe it. How had I not noticed it sooner? You're not Stanley. You're a real person.
Uh-oh.
I can't believe I was so mistaken. This is why you've been able to make correct and incorrect choices. And to think I've been letting you run around in this game for so long. If you'd made any more wrong choices, you might have negated it entirely. It's as though you completely ignored even the most basic safety protocol for real-world decision-making. Or did you not grasp the severity of the situation? Well, I won't have that kind of risk on my watch. I'm going to stop the game for a moment so we can educate you properly on safe decision-making in the real world. Please observe this helpful instructional video.
Choice. It's the best part of being a real person. But if used incorrectly, can also be the most dangerous. For example, in this scenario, a hypothetical real person named Rupert has a choice. He could invent a machine that eliminates food shortages across the world to make life better for all people. Or he could spend years of hard work forgetting how to read. Which choice would you make? Remember that unlike here, the real world makes sense, and at no time should you make a choice that does not conform to rational logic. If you find yourself speaking with a person who does not make sense, in all likelihood, that person is not real. Allow the person to finish their thought, then provide an excuse why you cannot continue talking. Turn to a partner and practice saying, "My goodness, is it 4:30? I'm supposed to be having a back, sack, and crack."
I wonder why they decided they needed to edit it. Because
Excellent.
I'll tell you
Making
later.
choices on a regular basis is the best part to a healthy decision-making process. Most medical professionals recommend making at least 8 choices per day. Do you make more than 8? Less? And finally, if you begin to wonder if your choices are actually meaningful and whether you'll ever make a significant contribution to the world, just remember that in the vast infiniteness of space, your thoughts and problems are materially insignificant, and the feeling should subside. At this time, your instructor will guide you in an exercise to test and reinforce the material covered in this video.
I don't think I've made 8 choices.
Welcome
this year.
back. You may have noticed that this room has begun to deteriorate as a result of narrative contradiction. But not to worry. Now that you're properly informed on good decision-making, we're going to revisit a choice you made just a few minutes ago and see what the correct thing to do would have been. This way, please.
Yeah, they edited the script of that video. It used to be, stop world hunger or systematically set fire to every orphanage in a 100-mile radius.
Oh,
And they changed it to just forget how to read.
sad.
Why?
I'm sure Nintendo was like, we're not okay with that.
I don't know. Plenty of M-rated games on Switch.
Now that we know your choices are meaningful, we can't have you jumping off the platform and dying. Imagine the main character dying senselessly halfway through the story. That story would make no sense at all. We just need to get you home as soon as possible before the narrative contradiction gets any worse. Unfortunately, it seems this place is not well equipped to deal with reality.
No one is.
My goodness, is it 4:30 already? I need to get home for my back, sack, and crack.
I've heard that phrase twice now, and I still can't figure out what it is.
I don't need to know what it is.
I'm not from the 40s.
I just like it.
Almost there. You'll take the door on the left, back to the correct ending, the story will have resolution once again, and you'll be home free in the real world.
What if I don't?
Now remember, all you need to do is behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Nah.
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back in the other direction. Perhaps we're not too late.
Things are clipping into each other. I'm still going to go through the right again. Let's see if I can.
It's all that.
Oh, that didn't.
It's all that narrative dissonance you're creating.
You know what would solve all this?
A button.
A bucket.
You're right.
It's ruined. I can't believe, after everything we talked about, that my story, you've destroyed my work. Why? For what? What did you get out of that? What did you think was so special about seeing the game undone, left here like so much garbage? It's worthless now. And what am I supposed to do? Even if there were a way to continue, would it be worth it? To know that my story is now incorrect? How can I go back to that? I can't erase that knowledge. I'll have to live with it forever, reliving its impossibility forever. I couldn't live that way. Is it better to shut the game down entirely? To willingly destroy all of my work? I don't know. What's the answer? What do I do? What do I do? What do I... No, I have to. I have to shut the game down. I have to. I have to.
What color's my shirt?
I'm here. I'm still here. Here in this pile of rubbish. With you. You. Who thought you were so clever. Now look where we are. My entire game is destroyed. It was the only thing in the world that was mine, and you've run it into the ground. What, did you think that would be funny? You just had to see? Didn't I impress upon you how important it was to be like Stanley? He actually knows how to do what I tell him to. He understands that if I say to do something, there's a damn good reason for it. That thought hadn't even occurred to you, had it? That there's a world outside of you? You're a child. Oh, my story. If you'd just gone through the door on the left, you would have seen it. There was a whole underground facility. You would have destroyed it and been victorious. It would have been so perfect. I worked so hard on it. I tried so hard to make... behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
What?
Nah.
What?
No!
What?
Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry. Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back.
Okay. just wanted to see if there's
Exactly
anything
as
else
Stanley
you
would.
could experience.
That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first.
No.
I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
He entered the door
On his left. Doopy doopy doo, doopy doopy doo. Story is progressing.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
No.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
What if we go downstairs?
Oh, I can't go downstairs. There's no staircase to go downstairs.
Was it just like blackness? Was there a wall?
I'm
there?
barred off. Oh. What about, can I go to the toilet? No, it won't let me go to the toilet.
Railroad.
I'm going to experience it. Oh, this room is different.
Stepping inside his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, until he saw the door with a voice receiver next to it. Surely behind this door lay all the answers to his questions. And beyond all probability, he knew the passcode. He had seen it on his boss's computer just last week. Night Shark 115. Was this the code to open the door? Would it still work? There was only one way to find out. Stanley had been trained never to speak up, but now he would draw from within himself the courage to face the unknown. He drew a sharp breath and then spoke the code.
Night Shark 115.
Who are you talking
Stanley
to?
spoke
The
code.
controller?
I don't know.
Night Shark 115. He spoke
Night
it into
Shark
the receiver right there on the wall.
All these microphones we're sitting in front of.
I know. That's why I felt tempted to say
I'm
it.
sorry, is there a problem? You didn't mishear me, did you? Please speak the code into the receiver. Otherwise, we can't get on with the story. This is a crucial step. Okay, fine, you're not gonna do it, but you know what? It's pretty humiliating to bring you this far, only for you to suddenly decide you have better things to do. I asked you for this one single thing, for your respect. The kind of respect Stanley shows for his choices. He knows what it means to take a story seriously. If you didn't want to see what I had to show you, then why did you come here? You had a choice, you know. You could have gone through the door on the right. You could have done whatever the hell you wanted over there. Why did you come this way? Speak. Say something to me. Explain yourself, you coward. You...
Oh,
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered
I'm
the door on his
looking
left.
from above. I don't like this.
You're what? You're watching from
Stanley?
above.
Yeah.
Hello? Are you... Is everything
Does
okay?
Stanley have a body?
Stanley,
Yeah.
please.
He's just standing there.
I need you to make a choice.
It says
I need you to walk through the door.
the Stanley
Are you
Parable for
listening to me?
Deluxe.
Can you hear me? Is everything all right?
Oh, credits.
Stanley, this is important.
Oh.
The story needs you. It needs you to make a decision. It cannot exist without you. Do you understand me? Whatever choice you make is just fine. They're both correct. You cannot be wrong here. We can work together. I'll accept whatever you do. I simply need you to take that step forward, please. Choose. Do something. Anything. This is more important than you can ever know. I need this. The story needs it. So, you hear me? Are you there? Are you listening to this? Stanley, are you there? Okay. It's okay, I can wait. You need time to decide. Time to make sure your choice is correct. That is the best choice. That's all right. I'll wait for you to decide what's the right thing to do. Take as much time as you need.
Dang. Dang diddly dang.
Wow.
Wow.
There was definitely an ending we didn't do, Ran. Or was that not the ending?
I mean, that's it.
It seemed like
What about Button Heaven?
the most.
That's not an ending. That's a cheat code.
We didn't. Okay.
It's a cheat code that I don't remember how to do.
Well, it's a thing that we haven't done, and
Well, I'm sorry. You fucking tell him how to do it. I bet you don't remember.
No, I don't remember.
What could it mean?
So what are you talking to me
Stanley
about?
decided
You
to go to
remember
the meeting room.
everything.
Perhaps he had simply
Shut
missed
up.
a memo.
Because the office is super different.
Yeah, that happens.
I'm gonna grab the bucket.
Where are we going today? The bucket asked. Stanley just smiled. Anywhere they went together would be perfectly fine with him.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
I guess. Which one should we do now?
I think, did we do all the left ones? I think we did.
I think we
Well,
did.
we didn't do like the ones we did today.
Yeah.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had phoned the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the
Hey,
best.
hey, 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 hey.
And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? Yes, Stanley thought to himself. Yes, perhaps it true. No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting, and so the two of them detoured through the maintenance section and walked straight ahead to the opposite door.
No.
No.
No. No.
Oh, good Stanley. I'm glad you found your way here. I knew you'd find this place eventually. You see, your friends and I are concerned for you, Stanley. We've come together here because we care about you very much. It's this bucket you're carrying
The hell
around
are we?
everywhere. The bucket isn't even from the original Stanley Parable.
we're
It's
in
just sequel content.
just a
We're the
random
ones that
room.
matter, Stanley. Classic characters from the first game, like the Adventure Line and the Broom Closet. Because that's what fans want from a sequel. They want more of their favorite jokes, not this bucket that they've never seen before. Yes, I know I'm the one who gave you the bucket, but you're spending too much time with it. Don't you want another story involving the Adventure Line? We could make the Adventure Line go somewhere new. Yes, yes, that's what the fans want. Let's do it.
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah.
Look at that wacky line. Who knows where it'll go off to next? Oh, and it played some silly music as well.
Yay! I remember it like it was yesterday, even though it just happened.
Now this is what the Stanley Parable is all about. Don't you remember all those great jokes from the original dialogue?
Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
It's as classic now as it was back then. Let's do it for the fans, Stanley. Let's give them more content exactly like this. But if we want to do that, you're going to have to give something up.
No. No.
No. No.
You can't have my bucket.
Don't
Never.
you get it, Stanley? We need to get rid of the bucket.
No.
That's why I'm very proud to introduce a brand new character. This is the Bucket Destroyer.
No.
I think it'll make a wonderful new addition to the rich lore of the Stanley Parable. True, it also was not in the original game, but it's such a well-fleshed-out character with so much personality that to me it already feels as though it's been part of the cast all along. Don't you agree? Can you guess what the Bucket Destroyer does? Surely you don't need me to spell it out for you. Go ahead now, Stanley. Say goodbye to the bucket, and then pop it into the machine when you're ready.
When we're ready. Ha. Never.
Now
This is
listen
like
to
the
me.
companion cube
It's
of
crucial
outdoors.
that you give it the bucket. I don't know what the Bucket Destroyer will do if it can't destroy your bucket. Destroying buckets is all it knows. That is its singular personality trait. Sure, I can hear you saying, how does a character with only one personality trait deserve to join the pantheon of beloved Stanley Parable characters? Well, you see, if you were to really explore the Bucket Destroyer, you would see that its desire to crush buckets is so densely loaded with complexity and nuance that it's really like 10 personality traits. What other object in this game can you even say that about? The broom closet? Certainly not. I wonder what sort of Bucket Destroyer merchandise the fans will be clamoring for after this. Okay, the Bucket Destroyer is getting very upset now. You'll have to hurry and feed it. We can't get back to the classic Stanley Parable characters like the Adventure Line or the Bucket Destroyer until you crush that damn bucket. Quickly now, the fans are waiting. Do it, the fans, Stanley. Give the fans what they want.
Never! Fuck.
It shooted us.
The Bucket Destroyer, my prized creation. You had so much potential. We were going to do such marvelous things with you, tell such spellbinding stories about you. All of it squandered now. Goodbye, new friend. For the moment in time that you were here, you were magnificent.
It's just the Bucket Destroyer floating through a white space. That was fun.
That song no longer feels like Halo to me, and it now feels like Move-In Week.
Like move-in week?
Yeah, the week we moved in here, when we had zero furniture down here in the basement,
Yeah.
and it echoed like a Gregorian choir room.
Yeah.
And we stood down here singing
All
that.
of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps a good bucket, a strong bucket, a humble bucket, a committed bucket, a bucket of culture and distinction. Stanley
We could
clutched
go
the bucket
under
tightly
the,
to his chest and entered the door
under the
on his
computer
left.
room again. Under the monitor room.
Find the computer room. Now I kind of want to know what happens if you give it the bucket.
Or we could go give it the bucket.
I don't really care either way.
I am going.
Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever.
I don't want to do the
Perhaps his
elevator.
boss's office was where he'd find answers. Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer
1, 2,
luck.
3.
Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him?
The bucket always knows.
This is certainly the most logical explanation.
No.
Oh boy.
Wait, Stanley said to the bucket. Can we go back up? When I was pressing those keypad buttons, there was something very intriguing about the number 3. I want to go back so I can try pressing the number 3 again. The bucket said nothing.
That reminded me of a TikTok Brandon and I watched yesterday. It was a clip from something where one person storms out of the room and goes, I'm gonna go out this door and I'm gonna count to 10, and the calmest, most Luna Lovegood sounding person back
Here we
in the
are,
room
said
goes,
Stanley. Now I'm going to try out
"Don't
that
forget
number
the
3
3."
button.
I think it was an
Bucket
out of
to the
context
keypad
clip from
and
like
began absolutely slamming on the number 3
Victorious or
over
something.
and over and over.
from Nickelodeon or something.
It's a good line.
Sounded like Ariana Grande.
Well, he said, the number 3 is such a special button. I'm having the time of my life. Stanley looked expectantly at the bucket, but the bucket remained silent. This was a shock to Stanley, who had always felt such a connection with the bucket. How was this not as exciting to the bucket as it was to him? Once Stanley had had enough of the number 3, he got back in the elevator.
Have you had enough of the button number 3 that quickly?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. No loyalty to the number 3 button.
Nope. Not at all.
Perhaps the bucket had missed something. Perhaps it had not seen how much joy Stanley got from slamming the number 3 repeatedly.
Twang.
A hint of regret nagged in the back of Stanley's mind. Should he demonstrate the number 3 for the bucket again?
Obviously.
No, said Stanley to the bucket. You can't go on yet. Not till you understand how much the number 3 means to me. You and I have been through so much together, and I just want you to see what I see. Feel the happiness I feel. He smiled at the bucket, and the bucket said nothing.
Damn it.
Why is the bucket treating us like this?
Buckets don't really have shoulders, but it's giving us the cold something.
Here we go, said Stanley. This time I'll really show you. He ran to the number 3 and began to wail on it like a musician on a beloved instrument, weaving a concerto of truth and passion. He wielded the number 3 like a fine artist would wield a paintbrush. He told stories through the number 3, stories of his dreams and hopes and fears. And the whole time, he looked to his bucket for a reaction of some kind. Anything to let him know that the bucket appreciated what he was doing. The bucket conveyed absolutely nothing at all, only silence. Crushed by a wave of dejection, Stanley returned to the elevator.
No, Doom 7 doesn't change anything.
Hi.
Hi.
Cold handle?
Cold handle? Okay.
Cold handle.
Huh?
It's a bucket version of a cold shoulder.
Stanley and the bucket were so close. They'd always been there for one another. Why suddenly could the bucket not connect with this passion of Stanley's? The question caused Stanley to ruminate the whole way down the elevator. He knew that there must be a way to get through to the bucket, to communicate fully with his dear friend. Surely there was a solution, mustn't there be?
There has to be. There has to be a solution.
Is there?
Yeah. I mean... Yeah.
Back up the elevator.
What do you think this is? Some kind of game where there's not solutions to things?
I'm kind of thinking that's been the whole game.
Said Stanley. I know what to do. I know how to fully express this feeling in my heart. He decided right then and there that he would hold a press conference where he would speak to the public on all matters relating to pressing the number 3 over and over.
Okay.
He would elaborate fully on what the number 3 meant to him and why he felt so alive when pressing it. Then the bucket would be able to see his joy through the eyes of others. It would get to see the world react to this discovery of Stanley's. And it would be through the public eye that the bucket would finally understand Stanley's work. For months, he advertised and marketed his press conference, building excitement around it, developing and rehearsing it, until it couldn't be refined a single measure further. When the big day arrived, Stanley was as prepared as he'd ever been for anything in his life.
The 2-stage wakeboard has a bunch of 3s on it.
This was it.
Bunch of 3s
One
everywhere.
last chance to win the bucket over. One opportunity to share a true connection with a loved one. There was no one here. Nobody had come to the press conference to hear Stanley speak, to listen to him talk about what it really means to press the number 3 on a keypad over and over. He was unloved, uninteresting. He was a failure, And in that moment, Stanley knew that the bucket would never again take him seriously. There would be no connection, no deeper understanding. The bucket merely sat there in his arms, indifferent. And so it began that slowly, over many years, the two of them grew more and more distant. They spoke less and less, neither wishing to state the obvious, that any sense of real respect between them had eroded since that day at the press conference. There would be no more games, no more long conversations about passion and pursuit, only a silence that consumed the space between friends. And Stanley, having for once in his life discovered the warmth and comfort of true companionship, was cast back into the unremarkable normalcy of loneliness.
Oh, jeez. Oh, okay. How much more do you guys want to do?
I'm okay at stopping whenever you guys are ready.
I can keep going as long as y'all's want.
Like, there's like dozens of more bucket endings, but how much of this novelty?
I'm not starting to get tired of the bucket. Then again, I have pretty bad taste. So, like, if you guys are getting bored of the bucket,
I mean, I'm gonna see all these endings at some point in my life.
I kind of want to see what happens if we fall off the monitor room with the bucket. I want to know if there's a different song.
You know
for
what?
that.
All of his
Okay,
co-workers
we'll jump off the
were gone.
monitor room.
What
Let's
could it
do
mean?
that. Let's cap it
Stanley
off
decided to
with that.
go to the meeting room.
Yeah, we should cap it off with the disco.
The weathered companionship.
But we can do the disco before we jump.
Yeah, that's true.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on
That
his left.
sounds so good.
It's so good.
And we watched.
Still no one was here.
You and I were
Stanley
gonna watch
needed the bucket's warmth and comfort
Nintendo
now
Capri
more
Sun
than
do
ever.
it
Perhaps his
completely by
boss's
accident.
office was
Did
where
he?
he'd coming to a
Yep.
staircase. Stanley and the
I
bucket
don't remember
walked
that.
upstairs
I don't remember
to the
anything about that.
boss's office.
Oh, it was a marvelous moment. His mind was blown by it, and in an episode of something
Stepping
that he
into
did
his
shortly
manager's
after
office,
that,
Stanley
he
was
made a
once again
rap to it.
stunned to
Yeah, it
discover
was like
not an indication of
Nino
peace in
Cooney or
life.
some shit.
Crushed by the weight of
that
this
was like one of the
revelation,
last
Stanley
things I
may have
watched.
I
Stanley
didn't
guessed the correct code
imagine.
by sheer luck.
I've heard
Was
that
it
game
the
was good.
bucket knew all along?
It's fine.
Was
I
the
mean,
bucket guiding him?
it is.
This is certainly the most
JRPG.
I like those.
Bum, bum, bum.
No, like Hunter, any JRPG trope you can think of is in Nino Cooney.
Yeah,
It's
This is okay.
it's fun.
it's good. It's fine, but like
It's the only video game I can play that's been animated by Studio Ghibli.
Yeah, it's true.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read
and a bunch of children as main
Mind Control
characters.
That
Facility.
doesn't surprise me.
There's
Lights
a
rose on an
beach
enormous
town in
room
the
packed
game.
with television screens.
And you
What
get there,
horrible secret did this
and they're
place
like,
hold?
sorry,
Stanley
only
and the bucket
swimsuits
both
allowed
wondered
in
to
the city.
themselves.
And they're like, I'm 6, and they're like, I don't care.
I mean, 6-year-olds go to the beach. They wear bathing suits when they go there.
Yeah.
The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine. Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well? Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place? These questions
Nino
raised
Cooney
furiously in
movie?
I think
Stanley's
so.
feeble mind.
Huh. I could see how that would be disappointing.
Much of that game is extremely forgettable, but I will go to my grave remembering Mr. Drippy.
I've heard that the main draw of the game is just looking at it.
You know, it's pretty and it's quirky and It's just a really nice coat of paint applied to the framework of every JRPG ever. It is a really nice coat of paint.
I want to try playing a Shin Megami Tensei game because I've only played.
Those are apparently great.
Yeah.
They just remastered Nocturne for the new PlayStation, so I'm like, ooh, I want to play.
Dun, 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 dun.
He didn't introduce it this time. He didn't introduce it last time. That was Ryan.
Oh, it's just a secret.
I was hoping that they were gonna have some words about the bucket. They don't. That's okay.
Maybe not.
Okay, we can jump off that.
But just as Stanley was about to proceed further into the mind control facility, he tripped and fell over the railing and into the dark void below. Thankfully, he fell directly onto the bucket, which safely cushioned his fall. Now, what to do next, Stanley wondered. Stanley and the bucket could find no way out of this enormous pit, and so eventually they decided that the best thing to do would be to simply get comfortable down here. So they set up a little couch and relaxed. It really wasn't
Where
so
did we
bad
get a
down
couch?
here. Cold,
Yeah, we got a
perhaps.
couch.
After some time had gone
TV now.
by, they installed a few shelves as well, and a sort of kitchenette that was useful for when the bucket was craving paninis.
Craving what?
Until
Paninis.
the rugs and the standing lamps came in that it really started to feel like a home. In fact, after some time, Stanley realized that it had been ages since he had even thought of the mind control facility at all. He'd never gotten to fully explore what was up there, never been able to unearth the many mysteries of the mind control facility. This lack of closure began to eat at him. Soon he was dwelling on his regrets, and the state of their home slowly decayed as Stanley became withdrawn and neglected the cleaning. It unsettled the bucket deeply. Stanley wasn't usually like this. The bucket tried to reach out to him again and again, but to no avail. All Stanley could think about, all he could talk about, was going back, doing it over again, staying on the path. It was a mistake to leave the path. It was a mistake. It was a mistake. I need to do what the narrator says. I need to see the true ending. This made no sense at all to the bucket, which was simply trying to live its life down here as comfortably as possible. Yet Stanley was unconsolable. This isn't an ending. This is just a hole in the ground. The bucket sighed. True, it wasn't an ending. But it's where we happen to be. And maybe, possibly, if we accept the reality of things, maybe this will become an ending eventually. It's what the bucket was counting on. The two of them waited for a very long time.
I think that's it. That was weird. A lot of these are weird.
I think we're playing a weird game.
I like it.
Good. Everyone go buy it, and you can see the stuff we didn't do.
Woo! It's a good game. Play it for yourself.
It is a good game.
I don't know what I was doing,
I don't know. I don't know what I was doing.
but that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah!
I
Yeah.
never know what I'm doing.
Yeah! Way past cool. Stanley.
I like this game.
This is a good game. I guess I'll do the ramble that I was gonna do at the beginning of the stream now. I love learning about mundane things that don't matter, or just like weird stuff in general. an atrocity guide recently came out with a video essay about a group of people that believe that they won't die.
They're wrong.
And, well, yes, they are wrong. And, like, some of them take it from, like, a very science-y perspective where they tried to, like, freeze people and, like, in hopes of resuscitating them in the future.
That's a neat idea.
Some people take it, like, more spiritually, where it's just like, no, I'm not going to die. And there was basically, like, this trio in the 80s who were kind of like this weird, like, polyamorous, like, group who was just like, yeah, we're not gonna die, no way. And then one of them died, and now the two that are remaining just kind of pretend like he didn't exist. It's really funny.
Maybe he didn't die.
Maybe not.
Forget it.
But it was weird. It was weird. It was really weird.
Yeah. If they were like, he died, but like he still exists, that would be a religion.
It basically is a religion. Have you guys ever heard of Bob's Game?
Who?
Bob's Game.
No.
This is a really, really interesting video essay that I'll actually send in our group chat because...
Is it 7.5 hours long?
No, it's only 45 minutes long.
Okay, I can deal with that. You watch a lot of 7.5 hour documentaries about, like, soap manufacturing.
Yeah,
stuff.
I do.
But you can't read.
No. Can't read.
I'm like, here's this book about wizards and magic, and I was like, no, that's boring. Back to my 9-hour video essay about copper pipes.
I don't know what it is about my ADHD brain, but like when someone's going off about some fantasy gobbledygook, my brain just kind of like slides off, and then I find myself trying to snap back to attention like 5 minutes later, but I've missed that 5 minutes, and now I gotta go back and read it again. But if my mind wanders during the copper pipe video documentary, then it's okay. I can come back and learn more fun facts about copper pipes and not worry that much about the 5 minutes I missed.
Yeah.
I think you might be boring.
Maybe. Maybe. I kind of like... I've talked 3 times now about how I'm obsessed with mundane things.
Yeah, you did.
Okay. So, Bob's Game, right? Bob's Game was an indie game that was being developed by this one guy by himself in like the mid-2000s.
Let me guess. Bob?
Yeah, his name was Bob.
Wow.
And basically, like, what he crafted and what people were seeing of it, they really liked, and he was getting a lot of positive feedback.
Is Bob friends with Gary?
Is Bob what?
Friends with Gary.
Yeah. Bob, like, refused to launch his game on anything besides a Nintendo console.
Okay.
He was just like, Nintendo's like been with me since I was, a kid. Like, I want my game on the DS. Like, I want my game on the DS now.
Okay.
So for a long time, he petitioned, for the developer. Well, I forget exactly what it is. It's some sort of piece of hardware that you need to be able to actually develop games for their consoles.
Yeah.
So he petitioned, applied many times, and it never went anywhere. And this guy kind of sort of just spiraled.
That's a shame. If he did that like 7 or 8 years later, he could have just made an indie game and put it on the Nintendo console.
Well, everyone was basically like,
there's nothing stopping you now.
Yeah, everyone was basically like, you can just release your game on your website. Like, you can just do it digitally. And he's like, no, I want a physical copy. I want to put it in a cartridge. I want to play it. And I get that to some degree. But this guy just like spiraled and started turning his game into a hate piece against Reggie Fils and like just like Nintendo in general. And he started this like weird live stream where he refused to leave his room for like months and months and months.
That's weird.
And just worked on his game continuously and like made threats to Reggie and like and Sakurai and like other people, and it was just like really weird, but it's really interesting.
Does this story end with Bob's game for Nintendo Switch?
No,
Yeah,
it does not.
You could just make a game and put it on Switch now. You don't need like development hardware.
Yeah, if only he knew. But it was whack. It's a very interesting story that I don't even bother going to the gritty details about. But I don't know. I think I could just sit and watch hour-long videos about weird people on the internet for like the rest of my life.
I've been like 5 hours into a 55-hour playlist about what's their fucking name? Sonichu person.
Oh my goodness.
I've been like 5 hours into a 55-hour playlist about them for like 4 years.
Jimmy is obsessed with like that playlist that you're talking about.
Yeah.
He's told me, he's like, yeah, I'm all up to date on the Chris Chan, like
Chris Chan,
on the Chris Chan archives. The latest news I heard from Chris Chan was very unfavorable, and I'm not actually going to talk about it on stream. I'm just going to say that I didn't like it, and you can go search it out for yourself if you're interested.
All right. I'm gonna end the stream now.
All right.
Thanks for coming, everybody.
Bye.